What's up, fellas? Have the loyal patron supporter well, he didn't ask the question. He made the statement, right? He asked the question. He made the statement on the patron video that, women have a lot of options, but a lot of those options are not good. And so technically he was trying to make the point that, well, from an option standpoint, don't men have it better than women as in options? And that's one of those other red pill sticking points that, I want to get into. So one of the red pill sticking points or coping mechanisms that red pill men have come up besides the wall, they've also come up with the standpoint of the talking point of men actually having more options than women because the women, the men that are options to them, they don't even want. And so I want to explain to y'all guys that this is not true. All right. As me being one of the top percentage of guys by every statistical measure, right? That when women give out their list of what a man they want from a man, right? Over 6 feet tall, the financial aspect, and I think most of you guys will agree that I'm not a bad looking guy, entrepreneur. By any statistical measure, I'm gonna be in that top percentile. Okay, guys. So I want to bring to y'all what I've observed from women since being in that top percentile. Okay. Number one, guys. The average man is just more fun to be around than the average woman. So when we go to this options talking point, I want y'all guys to understand that from just the personality aspect, the average woman that I go out with, because I'm going to get more options than you guys, I can't stand to be around them. There are not a lot of good women who are just from a personality standpoint, and this is not a bitchy, none of that type of shit, right? Because y'all guys know I'm not going to tolerate none of that. But I'm just talking about from a personality standpoint, their whole vibe is just not the feminine energy that I like from women, that I observed from women 10 years ago, 15 years ago. The whole vibe is on this city girl vibe. If that makes sense to you guys, it's not this, you know what, the new term is not city girl now, it's boss bitch vibe. This is the vibe I get from women, and that's not a good vibe. Do they look good? Yes. But we as men, we want something soft. And what I'm getting from women is this boss bitch energy. And so just from that right there, guys, if we're going to talk about companionship, we're not talking about sex. If y'all guys, when y'all make this up and y'all talking about sex, then, okay, fine. Women have more, men have more, better options sexually. But I'm talking about from a companionship standpoint. Most of you guys gotta admit that when you go on a date with these women outside of sex, you don't really like to be around them. And I'm not even talking about a bitchy, they're being disrespectful standpoint. I'm just talking about their vibe, their energy. It's this whole city girl boss bitch movement. And I just don't like it. It's too much. It's too many sexy reds and not enough goddamn Ella Mays, right? It's too much, too many Megan, what her name is, the Joe Tory, the Tory girl, the one that shot Tory, whatever her name, Megan Fox, whatever fucking, I don't know the bitch now. I don't listen to that bullshit, right? City girl type energy and not enough Jill Scott's energies. Okay, guys? And so that is why if you lined up 100 men against the wall and you lined up 100 women against the wall, I guarantee you, sex aside, just from a companionship on a girl, this is how I judge it. Y'all sitting on the couch, who you can vibe with. I guarantee you probably 80% of those men are going to be somebody, you're going to have some socially awkward men and some weirdos, right? But I guarantee you 75-80% of those men against the wall are going to be somebody that you can vibe with, right? And I'm talking about the female. Opposed to on this wall, let's take sex out of it, just enjoy their company. Sex ain't involved. We just talking about companionship. And I guarantee you it's probably going to be the opposite of how many of those women get on your fucking nerves. So in other words, you probably going to have about 20 of those women that you actually can stand to be around without the sex being a component of it. So women have more options because more men are just have a better vibe. I understand we got some weirdos. Don't get me wrong. I ain't lost my mind. But I'm talking about they're going to be somebody that the woman actually can stand to be around. Most of you guys, you remove sex from women and then they have no value because of their energy. You didn't see this. Guys, it used to be once upon a time. I know it's crazy now, right? But it used to be once upon a time that if you lost your girl, man, you lost your real. I mean, she was your support, everything, fun to be around, your best friend. Most of the women now outside of sex don't have a great value to a man. So from that aspect, as in options, men just have better energy and vibes to be around. I'm just letting you guys know as somebody who has it from that top spectrum. Because once you get to my level, all right, once you get to that level, and then you dating a different type of woman, well, what you get is you get this boss bitch energy. Yeah, you can fuck them and stuff like this, but I'm talking about on a companionship. Because I understand if you're a guy that just want to fuck, then fine, okay, fine. But I'm talking about from a companionship aspect. Sex means nothing to me, guys. If it was just for sex, I wouldn't even waste my time. I would just do pay for play. I wouldn't even waste my time. I'll just be honest with you guys. If all I care about was from women, all this alpha male and you a beta, if all I wanted was sex, I might well just pay. Why try to date this, that, and the other if I like companionship? I don't just want sex. I'm too old for that shit. Now, 20 years ago, we can talk about a different thing. And some men do this, mature this age much earlier than me. Some men grew out of this stage by the time they turned 22, 21. Some men sow their wild oats from the age of 15, 16 up to they like 21, 22 and they done with it. They ready to settle down and start a family. Some men need a little bit longer. Some men want to sow their oats till they 35, 40, right? As in settle down, I don't want to settle down with one girl, but as far as me sleeping with 50, 60 women a year no more, I don't have no need for that. I'm more into a polygamy or having solid rotations, right? So even before I graduated to polygamy, I preferred to have a 3-girl rotation, not to just have a revolving door. I got into that around maybe 37, something like that, give or take 37, 38. Right when I came to YouTube, kind of like was over the goddamn, sleeping with random women, just having frivolous sex. I grew out of that right around when I came to YouTube, and I preferred just to, and y'all want to know what's the funny thing is? It coincides with once I became on my purpose, right? So once I started to get really into my purpose and got busy, what I started to realize is my need for random sex went away. That's crazy. It's almost like I was getting validation from sleeping with the women, and now I get the validation from my purpose. So I have no need to want to sleep with 50, 60 women a year now. Now I just like to do my little rotation thing. It allows me to have a peace in my life. And also to sleep with that type of women, it takes a lot of energy and time that I don't have right now. Okay, guys? So that's where I'm at. But getting back, I have no idea what the fuck that had to do with anything. But men are just better to be around. Next, guy, men just going to have to accept this. The average woman don't have a problem with sharing high-value men. So when y'all guys get to talking about these options and stuff like this right here, it's actually a lot of options for the women, for the men that women want. They would rather, 1,000 women would rather share Anthony Davis, right? Or Tatum for the Boston Celtics than to have their own man that makes $50,000, $60,000 a year. So when y'all get into these option things, y'all guys are talking about women having their own man. Y'all guys got to get over that. Women are past that stage now. Women are living this city girl life, that family life stage that y'all keep imagining in y'all head, that little house on the prairie bullshit that y'all keep when y'all do this shit that y'all thinking about. That day is over with the little kids running down, chasing the dog and shit on Little House in the Bed. That day is over with. Women are more into this city girl, travel, hit brunch with their girlfriends. Oh, and let me go over here and fuck my rich, high value man on my day. That's what they into now. Oh, it's Tuesday. It's my day to suck his dick today. Y'all remember Derek Jackson girl said she be going out and other girls coming in. They would rather do that. They would rather share. So the richer get rich and the poor get poor. Y'all got y'all mind is on this little house on the prairie thinking of husband. You come in the house with your little toolbox and she got your cornbread and collard greens on the stove and your ham hocks. That day is over with. Women ain't living like that no more. We in the city girl age. This is the feminism age. The age of I'm a hot girl. I'm gonna go out, hit clubs with my girls, keep my freedom. Oh yeah, let me go over here and my rich sugar daddy over here in Dubai gonna fly me out and he gonna take me shopping. This is what we're on now. This is what we're on. Women got plenty of those type of guys. Men are the one that don't have the options because you're not even seen by a woman if you don't make a certain amount or live a certain type of lifestyle. You're not even an option to them, if that makes sense. So men gonna have to get over this whole thing that from a standpoint of getting married and having it. That ain't even what the average woman is on no more. That day is past, guys. Women want to keep their freedom, be able to go fuck their little rich baby, sugar daddy or they rich high value man and get turned on that he get them 2 days a week. Next, guys, women do the choosing. Guys, since the beginning of time, it always has been like this, right? So I'm not finna give y'all something that y'all ain't heard before, right? As from a sexual standpoint, men have always been willing to take what we can get, right? From a sexual standpoint, I understand that it's some women that are unattractive that you wouldn't take it, right? Most of you guys are so low at the totem pole that you'll just take anything. Women can sleep with any man they want to from a sexual standpoint. Any attractive, I be looking at my chick, she's thick, sexy girl, and I say, she can fuck any man she want. She could go up in the supermarket, start hitting on a man who's happily married, and I guarantee you, within no time, if she wanted to, she could fuck him. Pretty much any fairly decent woman who throws herself at any man, even if that man's in a happily married relationship, I guarantee you, if he finds her attractive, he gonna cheat. Women are way more selective than that. Women don't operate that way. You wanna know how I know? Do y'all guys think that as me, being a successful guy, not a bad looking guy, tall guy, by any statistical measure you wanna go by, I'm not famous, but by any statistical measure you go by, I'm gonna be a part of that, what they say, top 10, 20% of men. By any statistical measure you go by, I'm gonna be in that, right? By that logic, that means I should never get rejected. Ever. Now, if you take an attractive woman, a very attractive woman, I guarantee you, if she approached pretty much any man, maybe she would get rejected by, some of the very high level guys, because she come dime a dozen to them. But I'm just talking about not that. I'm not talking about that 0.0000001% guy, right? Like Chris Brown, right? Like that type of guy, like that guy who has that type of status. And I'm talking about like the guy like me that's just like gonna be in the 10%, not that 0.0000, not the Chris Browns or the Drakes or the Leonardo DiCaprios. Yeah, they would turn those women down because that's on a whole different stratosphere. I'm just talking about a guy like me that's gonna be in that 10%. I guarantee you, she could get with any one of those. Take somebody like Bernice Burgess, or y'all guys know what I'm talking about, the attractive women, right? They wouldn't get rejected. But if you take the top tier 10% men, they still can get rejected by a very attractive woman. I'm not talking about she got to have a big social media following and stuff like that, because women can be even more selective. Okay, guys? So by that aspect, what I'm saying about the options is all men are pretty much options for women, but all women aren't options for men, is what I'm saying. A girl right now, guys, look, I'm not a bad looking guy, and I think I'm a top 10% guy. If I went into the club tonight and I wanted to get laid, there's no guarantees I can get laid. I could try, and maybe I do get lucky. An attractive woman who went to the club tonight, she said, hey, I'm gonna fuck somebody tonight. It could very well happen. With me, it'll be like, oh, I looked up and got it. It ain't a guarantee. With an attractive woman, oh, it's a guarantee. If she want to, it's gonna happen. Oh, it's gonna happen. If you're an attractive woman and you go up to a man in the supermarket and you start hitting on him, he can have a 3-4 girl happy rotation. I can guarantee you he'll make room for you. He'll find it might have to be brunch. He gonna make room some type of goddamn way. On the other hand, if a top tier man goes up to a woman and she has one good guy that she really likes and she into, it probably won't happen. Maybe she do, maybe she don't, but it ain't as guaranteed as it is with the woman going up to the man. He could already have 4 good women that like him. He could be in a 4-girl polygamous relationship, and I can guarantee you he still try to find room for her somewhere. Women do the choosing. Next, guys, most women don't even have the qualities that men find attractive, but men do. So what are the qualities that men find attractive? Men find submissive, behavior attractive, feminine energy, and being supportive, right? Being supportive. Women aren't supportive no more now. If you need support from a woman, and now you're a little bitch, right? Because what happened was when women lost their feminine energy, that emotional support of them left. So now a man who is feeling bad or depressed or something, now instead of her being that supportive, giving you that support, now she look at you as a little bitch. Because the feminine energy in there. Feminine energy is to be supportive, like a mama, supportive, like how mama always supportive. Daddy, so like if you're younger, you fall off your bike, mama like, oh my baby, and she wanna, take care of dad. Like, boy, get your ass back out there on that bike and stop crying like a little bitch. Cause that's the masculine energy in him. It ain't to be catering and like, oh my son, he hurt his knee. And your dad like, boy, stop sitting on that crying like a little bitch. Get your ass back on that bike. Mama like, but he hurt his knee. Because that's that feminine energy. Women now like the daddy. But stop whining like a little bitch and get on back out there to work. Because they ain't got that feminine energy no more, that supportive. You used to if you felt down, you used to could come to your woman with these type of things and talk, not crying and bitching and stuff every day, but y'all guys get what I'm saying. And she'll be supportive and give you some solutions or recommend some solutions. Now you can't even do that with a woman now. She look at that, that's a little bitch ass dude, man. They ain't got that feminine energy. But men still have the qualities that women want. Providing, protection. We still have those qualities. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is, from an option standpoint, the average woman can't even cook an egg. They're not domesticated no more. Most of them are not. The average woman can't cook, don't know how to clean, don't know how to iron, don't do none of that shit, or don't want to. Let me just say it like that. Don't want to. Maybe they can, don't want to. So as far as the options go, it's just not a lot of good women who do the things that men want them to do. But there's a lot of men out here, it's just fucked up the way the game is. Men are still expected to pay for everything, pay for all the meals, be the protector, jump in front of speeding bullets, walk on the outside of the curb. While women are not expected to do none of the shit that they was supposed to do, which was to cook and do all this type of shit. Now, obviously, you guys can make it. You can build that respect to what she do it, but it just doesn't come natural no more. It's not. You have to tell her to cook. It's not like she wants to cook. You have to say, hey, babe, you mind cooking a steak or something? It doesn't come natural like she used to get up and like, I'm going grocery shopping, I'm finna get some dinner tonight. You have to recommend it. So as far as an option standpoint, it's just not a lot of good women outside of sex that are going to have the personality or the extrinsic qualities that a man like, which is just being domesticated. Men are still providing though. We still do our part. They don't do their part. And lastly, guys, access. So if you contact a woman on a dating app or Instagram or social media, it's likely she don't even see you because she's too swamped with messages. But if she was to contact you, I can almost guarantee you will see her messages because you aren't going to be as swamped as she is. So when we talk about all these options, most of us are not going to be seen by women because of how many men that are bombarding them on social media, which we know is the number one way people are meeting these days. But I guarantee you, any woman that can hit up pretty much any men outside of that 0.000001% of guys, if you're a woman and you look good and you hit up Jason Tatum on Instagram, I can almost guarantee you he'll see it. Although he's rich and he probably got a lot of fans, that I guarantee you, Jason Tatum gets way less messages than a female social media influencer who got the same amount of goddamn followers. So you take somebody like Jason Tatum, and he gonna probably have like 5 million, 10 million followers. I don't fucking know. Take a female that got that many followers. Take a female that got a fifth of his followers. And I guarantee you she gets 10 times his messages. And so I say all that to say that, guys, you don't even have access to a lot of the women that you want. These options that we're talking about. And I just went on the extreme. Guys, any of you guys ever try to hit up any of these girls on Facebook or Instagram who got these large followings? It ain't no better. You go on Tinder right now, a Hinge, and try to hit up a super hot attractor. That's why they had to come out with the super likes. And it still didn't matter. It still don't matter. You can go on Instagram right now, they tell me something, this is very popular, you want to send a super like? I'm like, what the fuck does it gonna matter? It ain't gonna matter. Send a super like, you can send a super duper like. It don't make no fucking difference. You still ain't gonna see it. So a lot of women you don't even have access to because they're too bombarded with other messages. But they can message you and you'll see it. All right, guys. So I just want to dispel that whole myth that men have more options than women. It's just not true. If you're talking about marriage or a monogamous relationship, then I guess you're right. Right? I guess you're right. But if we're talking about companionship, if we're talking about actually from a standpoint of how women are today, if you're talking about, if you put today 20 years ago, then yes, you're right. But if you're taking it from the standpoint of what women want, which is they don't mind sharing the men and assets, then they have more options. All right, guys. So I just want to put that out there. In other words, it don't matter if you have more women if they don't even see you, if that makes sense. All right, guys. I'll get back with you guys later.